Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja 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 Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demon C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Ori Banish C10 Demonio Dinaja Abarera Legos Ram Abarera, Legos, Ram, Ori, Banish, C10, Demonio, Dinaja, 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 Abarera, Legos, Ram, Ori, Banish.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome to Apocrypha, the only Apocrypha podcast on YouTube, because I forgot to do the transition thing again. Like, I didn't. Whatever. You guys probably don't even notice it. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, probably not. It's good to see everybody. It's been, yeah, I know, we're doing it now. Shut up. Sorry, that was just my computer reminding me, hey, you got to do the show. It's like, yeah, we're already doing it. So just for those of you that know, the reason why we're starting a little bit late is because there was a time change. It hasn't changed over here in the UK yet, but you guys over there in state land, your times has already moved. Was it moved forward an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved forward an hour, so it's 8:30 now.
Yeah, so yeah. Otherwise, it would have been an hour later. So, hey, it is what it is, right? Welcome to the show. It's good to see everybody. Who do we got in here? Sad World, good to see you. Hope Aaron's doing okay. I haven't seen Aaron pop in here in a while. I thought you guys usually...
No kidding.
Yeah, like I thought they kind of sat together, like, while watching the show, but, you know... Wow. Dottie, holy shit, man. Ooh. Right, how's it going? I think I always say your name wrong, dude. I think it's like Dodie, that's right. Yeah. Not okay. Because I think he uses the example, it's like Cody, so Dodie, yeah. If I'm wrong and I said it right the first time, let me know, man. I'm sorry, I always mess up your name. It's my bad.
Dodie makes sense.
So, correct. Okay, yeah. So, yeah. Cody Doty. All right, there we go. Speak and she shall receive. Okay, there. Welcome, Aaron. Good to see you. What else we got? Land-based magic. We have Maeve in here. somewhere. I think he's still floating around. Maeve, so hello. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. So tonight, what we're going to be talking about is kind of like I just kind of grabbed a topic out of the the magic demon bag here, but we're going to be doing magic conflict and psychic defense, which I think fits with a lot of things that are happening in today's day and age. And this isn't just like purely magical either. This is like being able to use, our spirituality to kind of help us balance our shit out, or maybe even help other people balance their shit out in the real world and on a day-to-day basis. But before we get into that, as we always do, we are going to be doing Mystic's weekly read. If I can get his his solo cam correct. I'm so glad I didn't actually switch it over right now because he's looking at his chin. Why is this camera so fucking big? God damn it.
No, suits me well.
There you go. So yeah, it's because the last time that we did this, Rook was also on, and so what that does is that changes proportions, right? So I think that works. So we're gonna switch over to Mystic's solo cam here, so you guys can see everything really well. And there now it's just Mystic. I'll come up with some like nifty text above him, like later on or something.
There we go. I don't know if I used this deck or not. I can't remember. The Rosewood Tarot. I think I did, but then I feel like I was preparing for it the night that we canceled. So then I think I didn't. So I can't remember. Either way, I've been carrying this deck with me and using it a lot, so I wanted to use it anyway.
Okay.
It's actually 2 decks. This is the day deck, and then there's a night deck, and it kind of talks about or works through how to do things in binaries or do things in conjunction with each other and how things compare and contrast, kind of like the same in nature, differing in degree kind of idea. Your polars, your genders, your opposites that are really not even that opposite. They're all the same thing. So it's a really neat deck. Green foil, like a matte green foil on the edge, which is really cool. They're not. The night deck is purple. We'll do that next time. No borders. Love the imagery. The also thing that's really cool is it's perspective based, right? So the day deck, you see these scenes in day. The night deck is the exact same scene, but in the nighttime or with cloaking. And there's they're matte cards with some shiny aspects of them to represent things. They're just really cool. And they're very, very heavy on the elements. So we're going to use this beautiful Rosewood deck by Vasich Art or Vasich Art. I could be saying it wrong, most likely. Some of you may know Vasich Art because it is pretty well known. They have a lot of decks. And I have used these a lot in the last couple of weeks. I did a couple personal reads for some people. I did one for Brad, for Rook, I should say. So they've been quite well shuffled, and we have gotten pretty much all water and a little fire. Our first card, 9 of Water. And you can get a image of what that looks like. So you got a little sun on the top there, and you can kind of see the water that flows through. So the 9 of Water is really this feeling that we're getting of coming to the end of an emotional session of something or an emotional thing that's kind of, to me, a positive. It's something that is culminating in a way that's going to make us feel better or good about something, even if it's tough. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a good or a bad thing. It just means it's reminding us that the emotions that we have are coming to an end. They're coming to a fulfillment of something. For some of you, that may be something like not being as sad about a relationship ending. For some of you, it might be feeling really happy that a relationship is going very well. For some of you, it might mean, your emotional fulfillment of yourself is coming to a positive or a better place. Regardless of whether it's quote unquote good or bad, it's coming to a better place because the 10 of Cups is where everything comes together. So we're right before that moment where things all come together. So look around and kind of see what's in the energy around you. to bring in those things that are going to help you be more emotionally comfortable. Even more so because every card in this read is based mostly on water. There's some additional, but I think the important thing is if we're starting off with the 9 of water and we're going to our second, which is the 2 of water, this is a representative of something that we're working on to try to balance out, and it's causing us a little bit of stress. So if we're looking into those things that are causing us stress, we just need to work on balancing it out and making sure that it works and getting that balance together, and then the 9 will continue to happen, right? So we just need to balance it out. We need to spend a little bit of extra energy on making sure that we're not responding aggressively, or we're not coming out of the gate yelling or screaming, because that's not how we seek balance. The 2 of Cups comes up a lot with me in a reading where it's maybe somebody's being too hot-headed and too aggressive, and they need to calm down or chill out a little bit, or somebody's being a little bit too quiet and calm and not willing to speak up for themselves, and they're not feeling good about things. So make sure that you're speaking up for yourself, but you're not putting everybody else out at the same time. And then we have Temperance, and this is probably the most important one. This is our major arcana, but Temperance is mostly a water card, but it also has a lot of fire reference in it because it's an action, right? When you temper steel to make a sword, you're taking it from one thing, you're applying energy and heat and motion and action and changing it into something else. So Temperance is really big on alchemy for me. So this is still saying, let's take all that water energy that we have, these emotional things that are coming together, and make sure that we're using them constructively to make something else. So the message that I'm kind of getting through all of this is making sure that we're maintaining ourselves properly, that we're giving the energy out that we're supposed to be giving, and that we're paying attention to the things around us so that we're not getting over aggressive, or I don't know the word for over meager. I don't want to say weak because it's not weakness. It's just failure to speak up for yourself when you need to and missing out because of it. So take that energy and use it for something constructive. And with all this water in the read this week, to me, accompanying accompanying the full moon and the lunar eclipse, very easy to spin out of control emotionally and go from extremes from one to the other. So make sure you rest, take some time, stick your, my favorite thing in the world is go, if you're near a beach, put your toes in the sand. If you're at home, walk around outside barefoot, don't step on bees or shit like that. But do some groundwork, do something that pulls you back down to earth a little bit, because it's easy to get overdo it. It's easy to overdo it with everything that's going on right now. So that's it for the read for this week.
All right.
Beautiful deck,
Awesome.
highly recommended.
Yeah, I really like that deck. It looks like it could very
really
easily
nice.
be used as like an oracle deck as well.
Very much so. It's very like you can see the image in it. Like you see this and you don't immediately think fire, but if you look at it long enough, like you can get that out of it. It's very, I don't know if you want to call it abstract, but it's kind of got an abstractness to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Really pretty.
I was getting side-eyed throughout that entire reading.
Just for the record, generally the person that's side-eyeing is the person that it's about.
That is not true.
I will always side with the woman in a relationship. I'm just I know better. I've learned. I know better.
Damn.
Yep.
Damn.
That's funny.
I was gonna say so.
Good to know, Mystic.
Noella.
Good to know.
All right. I just saw a Noella pop in. Hi, Noella. Haven't seen you in a minute. Of course, that might be our fault.
Well, I mean, what this is the first show we've done in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. 1 week was my fault, and I think the last week was sickness, medical. So
yeah,
it worked out though, because last week we were stressed out and doing a lot of stuff. It was a good extra break for us.
Yeah, like I mean, we were close to like calling it tonight too, but like I mean, she's feeling a little bit better, so so yeah, we were like,
what time is it there right now? Midnight, 1:30.
12:41.
Yeah, see, that's too late. I'd be dead. Although Saturday, Friday, what is tonight? Saturday, Friday night, Thursday night, we stayed out until like 3 in the morning. Friday morning, it was ridiculous. We were dead.
I mean, to be fair, we
We're old
basically
people.
just operate on Mexican time. So.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so like it feels like 6:41 p.m. It doesn't feel like 12:41 a.m. You know, so I mean, you look outside, it doesn't look like 6:41 p.m. But it's
Right.
yeah. So all right, so getting into tonight's topic and what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about essentially just kind of like magical and psychic protections, I suppose, right? Is the simple way to break it down. So magical conflict and psychic defense. And again, like I said at the beginning, this isn't going to just only encompass like spiritual or magical warfare, but rather kind of staying strong in situations that feel hostile, right? Or when you're surrounded by people that feel hostile to you. Like, so this could be a social situation, this could be a work situation, this could be a family situation, right? It could be any plethora of things that bring about kind of like these emotions. What we're going to be talking about isn't solely and only on magical conflict, but how to use magic and how to use your own internal power to kind of navigate these situations, again, not just from a magical perspective but from a mundane one as well. So I suppose Mystic made a comment when I mentioned this subject where he said it's like it's very fitting, or there's a certain level of irony to it. So Mystic, let's kind of start with you. Have you felt recently kind of like the need for
If anybody has been on Facebook and has seen my Facebook, you are highly aware that I need protection and balancing. I'm very unbalanced in the last couple weeks. So yes. But the first step in this is awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, and a lot of it too is when this is just kind of a perspective of mine. I've spent a lot of my life in the occult sphere, more the new agey spiritual side, I would say, than occult. That's been like the last 5 years or so, right? But before that, Wicca, Druid, paganism in general, all that stuff. And I find that I try really hard to keep them separate for some reason. And I'm learning in the last 5 years that that's just that's dumb. The benefit of magic and spirituality and all that stuff literally is to be part of your mundane world, right? That's the whole purpose. When you start combining those things together, it does get a little bit murky about what's happening and when. So when things on the mundane front start stressing you out, there are a lot of things that people can do to kind of negate that to a degree. And so I think that's where it comes from for me is I am trying really hard to separate certain things and I can't. So in order to be effective in communication, like in order to communicate effectively, in order to what is that? Protect myself and my own integrity for things. I'm doing things that I wouldn't normally do. I'm acting in ways that I don't normally act. And so I think it's a fitting topic because I needed and have been using magic, especially now, to negate that, to kind of pull that peel back and get my sanity back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for a long time I've done simple I call it preparatory magic. It's the little stuff you do every day to keep yourself sane.
Mm-hmm.
The mini rituals. Some people get up and make coffee and read the newspaper. That can be a mini ritual that sets your day that you need. For me, it was the other day we woke up and we just started making stuff. We made an oil, we made an incense blend, which we haven't done in forever. We made face wash and did all the magic with that. We did the whole thing. And doing those little bits and pieces are so important for setting up yourself. I know we're going to go deeper into that topic, like the actual detail, but I just think that's kind of the starting point for me is
Mm-hmm.
being being able to utilize yourself and set yourself up for protection, or for, and it's, protection is not the word I want to use. Maybe balance is the better word.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you go through the day and you start doom scrolling and looking at Facebook and seeing things that you don't like, and you wonder how the hell can somebody think that, it's really easy to get into a bad headspace.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of the starting point for me.
Yeah, I really hate Threads right about now. Like Threads is kind of like the new
Hmm.
Twitter, and it's is equally as toxic.
Well, the thing that I'm reminding myself the most about that is those things are going to give you what you want to see.
Mm.
If you're noticed, like I'm definitely pulling away from Facebook pretty hard. But if you notice on Facebook, if you start scrolling through comments, you're going to see the same comment that you liked repeated 5 or 6 times. That's the algorithm trying to give you what you want,
Mm-hmm.
to make you feel like you're the one being supported. And I'm like, that's just not. There's nothing true about social media, and the more quicker, and that's a whole nother topic. Um, Social media should be sharing pictures of dogs and cats and family moments and things that you enjoy. That's it. It shouldn't be about having discussions or getting news or any of that stuff. And the quicker I learn that, that's the first part of protection. I don't need to put up as much of a barrier if I don't look at the thing that is causing false discord. Like, it's not even real.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely manufactured. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, oh yeah, I know it's not real, or it's algorithmed, but it's what people really think. I'm like, yeah, but if you get up every day, look in the mirror and say you're an ugly bitch, and you say it every day, you're going to feel ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you get up on Facebook and you read those things that irritate you every day, you're gonna feel irritated. You gotta get away from that. And the first rule of magic to that is grounding. That's like the simplest thing anybody can do is ground yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, you know what? That has no bearing on me or who I am or what I do.
Mm-hmm.
I just ate a bug. Tasty.
That's good. There you go. Protein, man. Protein.
Telling you.
All right. All right. So what about
This
like
is
so
our
what's your take on all this?
homemade bug spray. I'm getting
I
a couple
think
bites.
like the most basic form of like psychic protection for me is just choosing what I engage with and what I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to acknowledge that when I end up feeling drained, it's usually because I've chosen to engage with something.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
That's
and
so true.
there's part of the ego that like kind of gets off on engaging with shit. Especially if it's bringing out like self-righteousness and stuff, because a lot of us like to be right. I know I love being right. I absolutely love being right. I love being told that I'm right. It's and yeah, but like I can also acknowledge that I don't need to be told that I'm right. I don't need to be validated. Um, and I've noticed that, I don't know, maybe over like the last 6 months to a year, I've kind of felt more and more isolated from other people, and I've kind of been curious as to why that is. And I genuinely think it's because I'm not forcing myself to engage. I'm not forcing myself to be to mask almost.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, it's kind of made me realize some interpersonal relationships, connections, whatever, just with just people I know, just really aren't that important or authentic.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so for me, I don't know, the whole psychic defense thing, it really is about what I engage with, because if I look something up online that I know is going to irritate me, I've just put myself in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
I can choose what I engage with and also how I respond.
Mm-hmm.
I can either respond in a way that's going to exasperate things and lead, put more fuel on the fire, so to speak, or I can just not give anything to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely, I agree with both of you. I think where you decide to spend your time, where you decide to spend your psychic energy, your mental energy, your physical energy, where you decide to spend that, really does kind of dictate, you know, how deep down the rabbit hole you go.
Mm.
You know, I think, like, you know, something that, like, Mystic mentioned about what you did, like, with Rook, with just waking up one day and just making things, not worrying about the outside world, and just, you know, living your life to its fullest in that moment, doing the things that you're doing. I think that's the best thing that you can do, right? I mean, there's a lot there. The world right now is a shitstorm, like, it just is, like, and I know I sound like an old timer, you know, saying that, because apparently, like, you know, when you get old, that's when, you know, everything turns to shit, apparently. Because it's not like what it used to be. But right, the further back you have to go for glory, you know. Do you remember when I was a sperm? Like, so
Jesus.
um but yeah, I mean, where you decide to spend your energy, like, that's important, right? And that is included in people, places, and things, you know. Go ahead, Mystic. You seem like you got something to add.
No, I do. I was waiting though. I was just clicking
I
my
don't want
teeth.
you to forget, though. You have a habit of forgetting.
Oh yeah, I do that too. I was just going to say, like, so yeah. I mean, just listening to what you were saying there, that is, I think, the midpoint and the end point. Well, mostly the midpoint and the end point, if we're looking at means to an end, right? If the end is being protected and secure and comfortable and not having all those things. So I think the idea of who you engage your time with is incredibly important. But I wonder what other people do to help them do that, right? Because a lot of people have trouble with that. I have trouble with that. And grounding only does so much.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get yourself magically daily into a headspace to where you're paying more attention? Mindfulness is the first thing that comes to mind. Mindfulness and meditation practices to get yourself in a mind space where you're not engaging with things you don't need to engage with.
She just ripped my desk. Like, she's just ripped off the side of my desk.
It was hanging off, and then it just got bigger and bigger, and
Because
now
you
I
were
pulled this whole, like, fucking chunk out of it.
Because you were picking at it. That's why it got bigger and bigger. It didn't get bigger by itself.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I think to answer that question, I think what I do, like, let's say if I'm online and I'm scrolling and I see something that irritates me, sometimes I'll respond, but then other times I'll sit there and I'll take like 3 seconds or 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and I'll think, what benefit am I going to get from responding to this? How is that going to benefit me? How am I what benefit am I going to garner engaging in and trying to have a conversation or argument with someone that in this space I know is not going to allow themselves the space to have an actual conversation, but rather just fight and argue and call names? So I think about that and I say, well, how much energy is it going to take out of me now that I'm going to be sitting there looking at my phone, waiting for somebody to respond to a comment that I don't even know?
But how do you even get there? Like, how do you even get to the point where you're saying, okay, I don't need to engage this because I'm not getting anything out of this? Because most of the time, from my experiences, I've already lost by the time I got to that point. You know?
I don't know how to avoid getting to that point, man, but I know how to avoid, like, the engagement aspect. So, like,
Well, usually people get, like, they'll start engaging in something, and that's when they start, and you can see it all the time, like road rage, for example. People engage in that, Apparently, a lot of people engage in that. But things like that, like how do you know, what is something you can do magically to set yourself up to where that is? Like there's things like protection bubbles, there's grounding. I love, like I said earlier, mindfulness practices. Not really magic, but you can combine that with magic. I have a practice where if I get kind of stressed out, anxious, or can't deal with something or need to readjust, I find something that's near me that's textural and I look at it and describe it for a few minutes in as many different ways as possible. And that usually resets my brain back to like chill mode, you know? I used to, when I was younger, I used to picture my brain as an actual computer that you power it down. Jesus, you need a new desk.
It was hanging off. I
Um,
had to like finish it.
Oh my god. I'm listening, but she's over here picking at it and
no,
it's
it's
making
fine.
noise.
No, I'm terrible with road rage. Absolutely fucking awful. I got home the other night and I can't even remember what I said to you, but I was like shouting about this like I
Oh, somebody that was tailgating you.
yeah, someone tailgated me for fucking ages, and then I came off at the roundabout, and because they were going on a different exit, they thought that would be a good time to start like fucking flashing me because they knew I couldn't do anything about it. And I got home and I was just like, I'll be thinking about this for the next 2 weeks, and
Yeah,
like it will continue to fucking enrage me, and it makes me want
I
to
can
turn
see it. I can feel it
around.
already. Like right
Yeah,
now.
like it makes me want to turn around and start tailgating them, come up at the side of them, run them off the fucking road, and then be like, "Who? Do
If
you want to flash
if
flash me
anybody
now,
wants
motherfucker?"
if anybody wants to learn how to read auras, this is a good practice. You should be able to see slightly red and brown energy coming around your screen. uh, but I get it too. I'm not as bad with road rage as I used to be, but even yesterday, somebody kind of like cut me off on the motorcycle and then cut Brad off, and I'm like, this motherfucker. I've chased somebody on my motorcycle before to the point where the guy got in front of me and used his windshield wipers to soak me on purpose. It smelled good, so I'm like, I'm fine with it. But I could get myself killed with that because I carry, and
You're in a state where the other people probably carry as well.
well, yeah. I mean, Florida. I think there's more guns than people, but I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't get like, I'm not a murderous person. Like, I don't like want to kill people. Like, you know how people say like, I want to fucking kill you, and they get like all crazy. Like, I don't get that. But I could get ragey enough to where I could fight. Like,
Well,
I can
so
fight. Like,
this
if I
is
need
this is
to.
where I kind of come in with that thing that idea of like I always come around like you can't necessarily control your emotions, but you can definitely control how you react to them. Like so when I'm scrolling through social media and I see something that irritates me, it's not that I'm looking for something that irritates me, just something pops up and it fucking irritates me. But in that moment, as I'm feeling irritated, I still have a few seconds of clarity before I make an incorrect decision to say something or
Many people
type
don't.
something, huh?
That many people don't. Especially people with ADHD and things like that. That's the thing that's what I want. I'm trying to get out if anybody has ideas for that.
I mean, I've
You know what I mean?
diagnosed with ADHD, so yeah. I mean, I still have like a moment of clarity though, like right before. I mean, sometimes it's even as I'm typing it. Like, I'll get
I
to a
get
point like
that.
as I'm typing the comment, I'm like, the fuck's the point? And then I just delete it and just keep scrolling. You know?
I do that a lot now, but I don't get that moment of clarity. My reasoning is I can't not respond to somebody, and if I write something, then I'm gonna have to respond to them, and I'm tired, so let's just skip it.
Yeah, I mean,
But
there's definitely different reasoning behind it, but whatever kind of works for you. Like, I mean, that's still kind of rationalizing, kind of not doing it and prioritizing yourself over someone else. And I think, like, if we look at this from like a left-hand path perspective, an important thing to look at would be prioritizing the self, prioritizing your necessities, your needs, and understanding what your needs are. Your needs aren't to fight with everyone that disagrees with you and try to have them see the light. It should be prioritizing your peace, right? And sometimes it's a hard thing to do. Sometimes we don't realize that we're not prioritizing our peace, right? sometimes we realize it after the fact that, we made a mistake in, not necessarily what we said or even how we said it, but the fact that we said anything to begin with. And
Yeah.
you begin to learn the more that you do that, kind of like, wait a minute, like, have I gotten anything out of this before? Am I going to get anything out of this now? No, I'm not. I'm not. And I'm desperately trying to change like my algorithm on social media because
Oh God, your algorithm on Instagram's awful.
but
What does it pull up?
I really don't want to see any more like political shit. Like when I'm going through like threads
Or
and stuff
large
like
breasts.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see that either. But it's just the reels, like the real previews, right? Because if you go into like the reels when I'm seeing videos, like it's just like normal stuff, but
I know what you mean.
it's like the pushed advertised ones.
Mine are all the dumbest, the reels are all these really stupid like gourds or like fruits or vegetables that look like body parts, or like the AI generated like woman has 8,000 ticks stuck in her back. Like it's the dumbest shit ever. I'm like, I've never looked for any, and now it's going to show up in my feed even more because I just said it out loud. But I don't know, if I see one, I'll show it to you because it's fucking disgusting and hilarious at the same time. But I get what you mean.
Yeah, yours is just women that look like they could provide milk for an entire village.
Yeah, but it's
Of
just
course, there's
like
none
it's
up there
just
now.
like the pushed advertisements. Even if you go into like when you start watching like reels or stories or whatever, like none of that stuff is there. It's like all like, romantic stuff or
Yeah.
like violent memes. But I think what it comes from is there's a couple of clothing brands that I follow, like Vampire Freaks, Kill Star, stuff like that use models like that in their advertising. So because that's in my stuff, so some of that stuff gets pushed through. So that's where I'm thinking that comes through. And like when it comes to threads, like I'm just getting really tired of, hey, what's with all the commercials like
You know,
hymns?
I just what I missed.
So when it comes to like
Hymns
threads, like I'm
and
kind
hers.
of over the whole political thing. Like I
Yeah.
really don't want to be talking about politics anymore. Like
Same.
at least not like on public forums. Like with
I
Dyra,
agree.
her and I, when we get into political discussion, I mean, I
You
find
need to
those
be
to
face to
be,
face.
huh?
You need real time. You need to be real. Those discussions have to be real time. It just does not work in social media.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. But so like when her and I have a conversation, like it's enjoyable, it's enlightening. We agree on most things, but then there's like some things that we still disagree on, and
There's enough not to create an echo chamber.
exactly. And so we still have kind of enlightening discussion, and we move on. And so when it comes to social media, I really don't want to be looking at politics anymore on social media. I don't want to see it in TikTok. I don't want to see it on Reels, Instagram, in Threads. Like I don't want to see it. Like so, what I'm trying to push my algorithm for is more kind of like art and technology. And yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the way algorithms work is it's not just what you want to see, but what most people are interacting with is what gets pushed out to you. So your feed isn't just your feed. Your feed is also dependent on the hundreds of thousands of people that also use social media and that are interacting with specific things. So the more other people interact with stuff, the more of that you will get.
It reminded me there is an app. Like I want to get away from social media, but there are some things that I really enjoy on it. Like I enjoy Chihuahua stuff and dog stuff. They're hilarious. I like seeing that, the funny things. And I love Fail Army. Just one of my favorite things in the world. I don't know why, to see people fall. Just fun. But there's some things like I can't remember what the name of the app is now, but it's like micro learning which is pretty cool. Like instead of going through all those things, it's little learning things. So if you get stuck in a rut on like Facebook or something, you're supposed to switch, go to this app and start looking through it, and you actually learn stuff while you're going through it, like little bits of physics and science and whatever. It's really cool. Not very, magical, but it's a way to kind of address that kind of doom scrolling. But I think that
Well,
comes
and
up
I
so
think
much for
what
me
with your
because
comment there, Mystic, if I could just pause you for a second, with your comment there saying
yeah,
it's not very magical, I think one of the biggest things that's missing out of the occult with a lot of people is the mundane incorporation of magic into your
oh
day
yeah,
to day.
for sure. For me, that's definitely my biggest thing I'm trying to do right now is merge those things together.
Yeah, I think a lot of people when they get into the occult, they think it's something that they do or practice outside of their normal day to day life. It's like they think of about they think about it like a lot of people I think view it almost like kind of like a or like a double life. Like they
Yeah.
have like their normal mundane life and then they have their occult life. And it's like those things you need to understand that your occultism, your magic, that's as much a part of your mundane life as your cup of coffee in the morning, your cup of tea, or your showers, your brushing your teeth. It's just as important and should be incorporated into everything. It doesn't mean you need to be like walking around with a fucking statue of Baphomet throughout your fucking entire house. Like that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but like
Like,
just repositioning the things in your house. So like we moved a lot of things in our front, like we call it the witch room. It's where all of our books and all of our stuff is, and the altars. And we moved all that stuff around so that you can go through and we have our dedication area. Rook and I each have our own, and you can now like you can do those little things to set yourself up in the beginning of the day, right, to kind of be in a better headspace the whole day. But as you go throughout the day, yeah, like having those little moments of things that you can do or think about or process. Like for me, I'm a Virgo. I like my stuff. I like collections of stuff. I like things. I like possessions. Possessions are important to me.
mhm.
So one thing that I've done is I take little bottles and I'll put different things in them that for different purposes that might make me feel good about something or remind me of something, and carry those around with me so that if things get kind of funky, I can pull that out and it just resets my mind. Same thing with stones. Leave the desk alone. Um, uh, stones are a big thing for me, right? Like if I know I'm going to have a really long week and I need to be energetic and like hyper for a group meeting or something, I'll take Bumblebee Jasper. Not because I think Bumblebee Jasper is like this incredible magic stone that gives you powers, but because just looking at it and the bands of blue and the brightness of it, or I mean yellow, make me excited. They make me happy. If I
Mhm.
need to know I'm going to be going on a week where I need to be very calm and not energetic, I just need to be even, then I'll take lapis lazuli or something blue or something toned down. And those things are magical ways for me to create not just protection, but in a way protection because it keeps me from engaging those things in a different way.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I mean,
So I'm very nerdy with stuff like that.
I was actually just gonna suggest stones. Like, I think, like one of the easiest ways, something that I used to do, like back when I first started, and I was more in just like kind of like into um nature-based witchcraft, is I used to love stones and crystals, man, especially pocket-sized ones, because like
Obsessive.
yeah, like back then, like I couldn't wear like pendants and stuff like that that kind of signified like what I was or whatever. So I would actually go outside and like I would, because obviously being in a household where I wasn't allowed to go buy stuff or have stuff, like I would find a stone outside. I'd look through hundreds of stones and find one that was like round and small enough to fit in my pocket. And I'd use that like throughout the day. Like I'd just put my hand in my pocket and I would just rub it, you
Like
know?
it's fun because it gets like it'll get soft and rounded even more the more you do it too.
Uh huh.
So you can change the actual shape of the rock. I go when we're in visiting places, I have a stone from that it's multi-layered. And I have don't usually you don't usually see layered stones. So it's usually, one type of rock or whatever. But this one had multiple layers on it. And I picked it up at Chicken and Biscuit. parking lot with his with my mother-in-law, and so that's kind of in a bag in my house, and it says this was where it's from, and that's my connection to that place. So that helps me when I'm traveling or something like that. But I'm all about the stones and pulling stuff up. Like we get railroad dirt and uh, I don't know. We pulled stuff from everywhere. We pull locust shells from the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but it's something that we like to use, and when we do our magic and make stuff.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Stones are just like any type of like ways to incorporate, magic and occultism day to day.
I'm always scared of like I wish it,
Oh yeah.
I did more. Like I am such a like herb person or herb person as
Herbs.
herbs. Yeah. It's got a fucking H in it.
Silent. The H is silent. Herbs.
Um
Unless you're talking about Herbert.
Herbert. Yeah, no,
Well-
I love my herb. Like the last few weeks I've been like I've done like what 4 or 5 pages in our shared grimoire, and it's like this A3 fucking where is it? Oh,
It's upstairs.
It's upstairs on the altar because we used it last night. Yeah, we have a shared grimoire, and it's like this massive fucking A3 thing, and I've done like 5 pages on herb correspondences, and I just absolutely love doing it. Like I find it so interesting. So like even just like building your herbal knowledge, and like if you're in the kitchen and like put a little bit of oregano or oregano, that's got some little bit of healing, a little bit of happiness, a little bit of peace, like do a little bit of kitchen witchery, good stuff.
Yeah.
And flowers as well. Put flowers in your home that correspond different things. That there's flowers for peace, love, protection, all that kind of things.
That's a good one. We make like even this stuff here. We made it it's essential oil spray for bug spray. It works. And every time I smell it, I think about being in certain places outside. We make a lot of herbal incenses that we always 13 things, and we put them together and we give them out to friends and stuff to burn. Like when we did one for Peace Day, we do it for the full moon, we do it for Astara or whatever, and we'll make them and give them out for everybody. That's actually a good thing too. You can do that daily. You can get like 2 or 3 basic herbs if you can't grow them, which we try to do and kill everything, but and you can get a bag, like a large bag of them. Tea, that was the other thing. We make a lot of our own loose leaf tea. I mean, I have a trunk full of herbs, and we'll just mix stuff in there with certain things with like Tulsi tea as a base and make different teas of it, and it changes how you think about your day. And if that's a ritual that can help you, it's definitely a way to go back to our original comment and say if it gets you in the right headspace, you don't need as much protection, right?
Mhm.
That really limits your exposure to the things that you don't want to be exposed to.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's all in the start of your day, isn't it? I think
Mhm.
it really is. Herbs are so cool, man. I love working with them. Do you know what? I've got so many fucking herbs upstairs. Like I've got my whole sort of like I'm like fucking apothecary of herbs that I have 7 weeks to get rid of. Like last night we had a ritual bath, didn't we? I was just like trying to use the rest of like all of these herbs I got left, just like throw them in the fucking bath.
Mhm.
And you were like, are we just bathing in tea now?
I mean,
Okay,
that's
it
a
started
smart
to look
idea.
like
We
just
put,
look like tea though, so
It smelled
you
like
can do that with
tea.
essential oils too. It doesn't take much,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I think
That's a good
essential oils
one.
might be a little bit better. Like I like the whole ritual bath with herbs, but like they you get herbs in weird places when you bathe with them.
Yeah, you will. But you also can rinse off. That's part of showering and cleaning up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what we did after, but
Yeah, you need to shower
Yeah.
before and after a ritual bath.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like when there's like a bunch of like what was it chamomile you put in there?
Yeah, I put jasmine. It was jasmine,
Oh,
rue.
What was the big flowery one you put in
That
there?
was jasmine.
The jasmine. All
Yeah,
right.
the
So yeah,
jasmine, rue, lovage, and I put some salt in there and lavender.
yeah. I just ended up with just a bunch of herbs up my ass, man.
I'm not a big floral person, but I love jasmine. Just I don't know what it is about jasmine. Like that is one of those. It's so good. But we took a small ritual from one of Matt Oren's books, where you and we bought 20 pounds of pink Himalayan salt and 20 pounds of magnesium sulfate. It was like $30, and we'll do make a big tub of bath salt, and 20 or 30 drops of a couple different essential oils, and you spend a little bit of time with it. And when you're making it and mixing it and thinking about what you wanted to do, every time I use that bath salt with that scent, I think those thoughts. This is to wake me up. This is to make me, be awake. So my face wash in the morning is citrusy. That's why you have citrus face wash. It wakes you up. Lavender at night, if you take your shower at night, so it can calm you down, and that kind of stuff. That shit works.
I think what I would want
People
to do
people
in the
will joke,
future. I think what I would want to do in the future. You know those bags that they have for
but
washing delicates, right? Those mesh bags. Just as like
sorry, that was good. Did not. I want to hear that, but Sadward said, of course, Florida man uses bath salts. So sorry. Go ahead. It was
that's
good.
good.
It
That
was
is
it
good.
was
That is
timed
good.
well.
Good one, Sad World. But yeah. So like so they sell these bags for like washing delicate clothes, right? So you can put them inside the bag and like they don't get ruined
Mhm.
like and fall apart and stuff when you wash them. Like the idea came to my head to get one of those. They have zippers on them. So just if you're gonna do an herbal bath, just put all the herbs in that bag and then just like a
Well,
giant tea bag in the water, so you don't
yeah,
end up
just use
with.
there's all kinds of sizes. You can get them this big, this big, this big, this big. They're cheesecloth zippered pouches for making like kratom and kava and other types of tea. That would work because we
Yeah,
use that when we brew our kratom.
yeah. No, it
But
also
all those
stop
things
like
to me
from
are
clogging
protection
the drain.
magic.
Yeah, my neighbors knocked on our door the other day and said, "Oh, just to let you know, the drain that we share, someone's coming to unblock it." Um, I was like, "Oh, okay," and I thought, I wonder how that got blocked. And then last night we took that bath, and I was like, "Ah, it was probably us."
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You get a little muriatic acid and pour down there every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty sure like coming up with like a giant tea bag would probably be better than just having free herbs just floating in the
Yeah,
water.
Yeah,
that's a
I
good
did used to
idea.
strain them, and then I just be asked, so I just started throwing them in there again.
Okay. Yeah.
You could do what we do. We make our when we do our loose leaf tea, we use a French press because it's just easier. Throw all the
Mm.
stuff in there, and hot French press does great to make 2 or 3 cups of hot tea with whatever flavor you want. Brew that and pour in the water.
I
Pretty
do that.
bad.
I use one of those to make coffee because apparently they don't believe in coffee makers down here.
Yeah, we do.
No, you
Just don't
don't.
have one.
Yeah, nobody does.
A lot of people. I used to have a coffee maker.
Oh,
So
French press
yeah.
is good, but
Yeah, it's just, dude,
I'm not a big coffee
it
drinker.
tires me out to make coffee in the morning. I like to make a whole pot and just, go for gold,
Oh, is that part of your ritual though that you change now? Just use that part of making the coffee as part of your get your day together kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I miss the coffee maker, man, because I would put the coffee on, go take a shower, and by the time I was done, like the whole house just smelled like coffee, like freshly brewed coffee. It's a really good way to wake up and kind of get yourself going.
Well, these
So,
mosquitoes are getting out.
yeah. So, yeah, well, everyone, I think that is going to cover today's subject. I think we covered it really, really well. Do we have any announcements? You still selling your course thing, right? The initiation infernale.
In finale, yeah.
Infernal.
Yeah, so initiation infernal started today, but if you still want to get involved, you still can. You can still book a free discovery call in with me, and we can have a little chat. about the program.
Mhm.
And my full moon rituals are now members only. So, yeah, if you want to partake in 2 group rituals twice a month, yeah,
Become
check
a
it
member.
out. Become a member. It's people are actually paying for them. So,
Yep. Tomorrow, hopefully, tomorrow, I will be doing. I'm actually checking to see if. Yeah, no, I haven't been told anything. So, looks like it's still on. I will be doing a live workshop on Baphomet in London tomorrow. So that's a thing. I'm going to be recording it, so
Oh, that's
that'll be
neat.
up. Yeah, that'll be uploaded for you guys to watch after the fact. If I could think of a way to stream it, I would, but not sure how that would work and how well the internet is over there. So, you know, that might not be an option. But yeah, so, but definitely going to be recording it. Definitely going to have that, up. Probably going to be doing a vertical format and a horizontal format. So that's going to be a thing. Yeah, so going through the entire history of Baphomet, and all of the different iterations of, goat gods, goat-like deities throughout history, how they're connected, and all of that lovely stuff, and also how to actually start working with Baphomet. So, yeah, that is what.
Nice.
Yeah, that talk is going to be about tomorrow. And yeah, I think that's it. Mystic, you still doing the Discord thing?
Yeah, probably. If anybody wants to hop in after tonight, we'll open the Discord for a little bit if anyone wants to chat. And we're still doing our Discord thing every month. I don't know if we need to adjust the time or make it a little bit bigger, like a little bit more advertising, probably. Or we may consider going back to our format of doing it on, YouTube. We'll see. So we've got both of those things going on. We're doing a lot of Discord things, but yeah, we're keeping the monthly for now. But yeah, tonight I'm also going to be after this. We'll be in, or at least I will be in Discord for a little while.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we
I
can
like this
hang out.
topic.
We could do like a half an hour in Discord because the show is a little short today. It started a little late, so yeah, like we'll be in the occultus.
the after party.
Yeah, that's what we used to do this regularly after every show. We used to hang out in Discord for a little while. So
Yeah,
we'll
if we
jump
limit
in
it to
there.
30 minutes, I'm good because that was the problem. We used to let it go on for hours and I'd fall asleep with the iPad in bed.
Yeah. So yeah, well, we're gonna be like we'll be in the Discord for about 30 minutes after the show. So if you guys you want to hang out and talk. So yeah, well, with that being said, thank you all. You guys are fucking amazing. You're the reason we do this. And as always, hail thy fucking self. We'll see you in the next one. Peace the fuck out.
Deuces.